Hello and welcome to the Filmmaker's Tavern, where films are played 24 hours a day and filmmakers gather to discuss their next big projects. I am your bartender and host, C. Alexander Padilla, and welcome to the first episode of my podcast. Today we're going to be talking about what this podcast is going to be moving forward. Um, we're going to talk about the importance as a filmmaker to have a plan B. That's something that a lot of filmmakers I find don't really like talking about a plan B because, like me, for me, the reason I didn't like talking about a plan B, I have a plan B now, but my reasoning was if I have a plan B, then I fail. Then I'm already setting myself up to fail because I can always, oh yeah, well I have a plan B, everything will be okay. Yeah, yeah, that ridiculous statement that I just said, yeah, I really said that and I really believed it. Hmm. Oh yeah, you're laughing. I'd laugh too. Go ahead, laugh, get it all out. That's the most idiotic, right? Yeah, the industry, the career that I want to be in is a one in a billion shot of getting to the status of Walk of Fame and Academy Award and Golden Globe award winning. It's a one in a billion shot. But yeah, having a plan B in that instance would cause me to fail, right? Yeah, ridiculous. And that's going to transition to the topic that I wanted to talk about. Um, you know, when I originally started this podcast, and now I say that because there are about 67 other podcasts that I've recorded, um, and they all start out with the thing that I want to talk about. The reason why I'm recording the podcast now as opposed to later when I have everything set up. It just drags on in the beginning. And for this, I kind of want to give people a glimpse as to what the show is going to be uh, after this episode. And if you want to stick to the end and hear what I want to talk about, then you're more than welcome. So, about the show. What is this going to be? What is this podcast? Well, when I'm not working on a project, this podcast is going to be a therapy session. And I'm going to just talk about whatever I want to talk about, whether it be my feelings, I don't know, my writing process. I'm going to say, I'm going to say, I'm going to say so, I'm going to say a lot of filler words. So be prepared. Um, I caught myself when I said it. So, that's pretty much what it is when I'm not working on projects. Now, when projects come in, they're going to be an audio diary of my production daily. Whether it be 5 minutes through 2 hours, I'm going to be doing interviews with people who are working on the show with me to try to get their perspective. The point of this podcast is I want filmmakers who are thinking about picking up a camera, or filmmakers who have picked up a camera, or just anybody who just has an interest in filmmaking. I want them to get a sorry, that's my chair. I'm trying to get comfortable. These chairs aren't the best, but yeah, that's the goal for this. That's the goal that I want to that I hope somebody sees this or hears this and takes something away from it. Whatever that may be. Uh yeah, and that's that. And to introduce the next segment of what I'm going to be talking about, every podcast there's going to be, aside from the production podcast, there's going to be a movie playing in the background, one of my favorites. And this one just so happens to be Ghostbusters. This film, written by Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, directed by Ivan Reitman, is one of the few films that I would say is perfect. One of the few films that I would say is perfect because it is. It is. Because as a kid, I liked science, so Egon was my Ghostbuster, right? I liked it. And then Ray started to come in, and I started to like him as I grew up, and then as I got a teenager and then older, I'm like Venkman is my favorite Ghostbuster of all. But really, all of them are my favorite. I love them all because they all of them are they bring a level of authenticity to this movie, and it makes everything that they're saying seem real, even though it's complete fiction. I think there's I think they Dan Aykroyd studied up on Gozer and studied up on stuff like that. I don't remember. Oh, that's the thing that sucks. I don't know if most of it is real and they just change some of the stuff to make it sound better. I don't know. I have to do research on that. But this film and the second one, I love the second one too. A lot of people don't like the second one, but I guess the one thing that annoys me is lack of a third, which I think this franchise needed. And a lot of people have said that, but I think if they would have done it now instead of doing the reboot, um, it could have worked. It would have worked. It would have been beautiful too, because there's this. Well, I can say it now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pitch Ghostbusters 3, and it's not gonna. It's not like someone's gonna make it because unfortunately, Harold Ramis has passed on, and they can't really do the franchise without him. I mean, they could, but you know, with the third Ghostbusters film, what I would have done was the first Ghostbusters was a rise of Ghostbusters, the creation of this new paranormal hunt, the paranormal investigators. And then there was a fall of the Ghostbusters with two, which led to their redemption, which would transition to the third film. Franchising. You remember Venkman said that? The franchise rights alone. It's just, it writes itself. It's like, yeah, I want the third film, The Ghostbusters, to be this, like, corporation that's all over the world. Everywhere you go, you see Ghostbusters in Japan and in India, all these places. And you can even introduce a set of cast members. They don't all have to be guys. There could be a girl, there could be a guy. It's just a nice mixture of just authentic people. That's the first thing that needs to be done. They have to be authentic. Now, how are we going to bring the ghosts in? And cell phone towers. I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be cell phone towers. Think about it. Cell phone towers, all that, where does it go? What happens to it? Maybe write it into where it opens up the world between us and ours. And then we have to go and fix it. We have to go and try to figure it out. Maybe it starts out in New York, and then everywhere in the cities, like the center of this is in New York, but it's threatening to open up worldwide. So think about the ending to this. Think about the ending of this, right? The old Ghostbusters with the new Ghostbusters, right? The new group. Okay? Sorry about that, folks. I had to just check something, but think about think about that, right? They call an emergency Ghostbusters call, just a red button, the red button that instead it's connected to all the other bases set up around the world, and they all need help, and they all get called in, right? And they're all coming in from London, from Japan. They have in Japan there's it's like the it's like this group of of Asian girls, and their proton packs could be different colors, and there'd be an LED screen of like their characters capturing a ghost or or something, and them giving the peace sign. Just something like that. Everybody from all over the world has their own, thing with proton packs and stuff. Like, I had an idea that like a street racer car was converted into like I wanted a Skyline, Nissan Skyline, and put a trap on top. They catch a ghost. It feeds it in through the car into the exhaust, and they use it to burn like nitrous and stuff, right? They use it to propel themselves, and that's a little dark. That may be a little dark because ghosts are bad, but they don't want to hurt them. Might change that up definitely, but again, it's just I think that there was so much potential for where this story could have gone and ended on a just tight bow that I don't think we will ever see that, and it's a bit of a downer. I wish there was more. I wish I wish there was a third, at least a third. But hey, what can you what can you do, right? So so the main topic of the show, the main topic, and let me just check. Okay, still a good battery. I'm surprised how long these batteries are lasting. The other three that I had, they lasted a day, and these I think I just put in, and yeah, I have 2 bars of battery left. So I don't know how long that's gonna last, but we'll see. We'll see. So Plan B is a filmmaker. Now, this topic was always a hot button for me for whatever reason. Uh, because I felt that if people said something enough that it would be true, right? So I didn't want to hear anybody talk about Plan B, even with my girlfriend, my ex now. But it's like I was thinking back on conversations, and I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks now, and I was thinking about conversations that we had, and every time she'd bring up a Plan B discussion, I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. It it blows my mind how I I don't know how I just set myself in one way and then that's it. You know, it's a shitty mindset. And I thought it was just I thought it was just me, and then I started meeting other filmmakers that didn't want to talk about it either. Didn't want to talk about a Plan B. So and it's that attitude that makes you a bad filmmaker. It will. It does. It does. Um because because if you don't have a plan B, you just set yourself up to fail because you set all these high expectations for yourself, and then when none of them happen, you get depressed. You start shutting down, shutting other people out of your life. You start lashing out at people. Whatever, just you just become this other person until that next project comes by and you're just like, "Oh yeah, this project's going to be the one that does it." This project, yeah, that project was this. This project is this, you know? And you keep on doing that, pretty soon nobody is going to want to be around you or with you. Okay? They're just not. And Oh man, it's just it's hearing like just thinking about this shit for 2 weeks was a pain in the ass to do because at the time I did have a girlfriend, and yeah, talking to her about it would have definitely helped. Would have definitely helped because I guess I just didn't want to talk to her unless I had all my thoughts out. So I started to write them down, and I did. I wrote them down, and oh man, the thing that I regret about closing off that plan B and just saying, yeah, this is what I'm doing, is it makes me sound like I'm a kid. It really does. I just fucking it's stupid. You should always have a plan B. Like my plan B. This is what my plan B was. This is what I decided I was going to do. Okay? I have a PC. Okay? I need to get it built. Once I get an operating system, once I get it built, we're going to film. Now, I'm going to give myself 2 months to film this show. 2 months, that's not a lot of time. I know it isn't. But I need to give myself this. I need to give myself a schedule. You need to give yourself a time limit because an indefinite amount of time is no way to live as a filmmaker. Doesn't. You don't get better. You just keep on pushing it and pushing it until you feel you're comfortable, which will never happen. You're nervous. You're not confident in what you have to do, and you end up never having to do it. And all this time is wasted. You lose people, and it fucks everything up. So yeah, I'm giving myself 2 months, maybe an extra 15 days at the end if I need it. Okay, but then that's it. Then I'm gonna edit. But here's the thing: I'm not gonna edit after everything's done. Oh no! Once I'm done with an episode of a show, I'm gonna spend that entire week editing it, beginning to end, and then film the next one that week, edit it, beginning to end. If I practice enough and I get this down to where my actors know where their marks are, I know where my marks are, we could get this done in 5 weeks. I could get this done in 5 weeks. That's I'm giving myself 2 months, but I can do this in 5 weeks. I can do it. I just gotta grind. I just gotta make. I gotta use every day to my advantage, and I do. I give myself maybe a little bit at the end of the day, turn off a little, then I go to then I go to sleep, wake up, continue. So after I film and edit, I'm gonna make a director's cut, and then I'm gonna make a a cut that I'm gonna be able to put online, which is the episodes I'm gonna put on a hard drive. I'm gonna go to Plano. I am going to meet with my music guy. I'm gonna show him the episodes, and I'm gonna try to get some musical tones in there to kind of see, to kind of give him an idea on what the vibe I want with certain scenes. And I'm gonna stay there till it's done. That'll take maybe a month, 2 months. I don't know. He's very busy, so I may be down there a while. Then I'll have, but you know, I'll ask and I'll schedule it and I'll see what I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But I'm gonna stay in Plano for about a month, 2 months. Once it's done, once I have it scored and I release it, I'm going to Plano for about 2 months, get a job, and just monitor what the viewership on the show is like. And if it's good and people find it and are watching it and there's a demand for it, I'm gonna come back to San Antonio, film the final episode or final 5 episodes of the first season, and take a break. Take a 6 month break. Go to Plano and just maybe not even 6 months, maybe 3 or 4. Just give myself enough time to just not have to look at a screen or through a camera. I can, work and just begin to lay a foundation for something very important. Okay? And if it doesn't work, that's my plan. That's my plan, right? But if it doesn't work out, this is where my plan B comes in. If none of that happens, if after the months that of hard work, 5 episodes, people don't, it doesn't find an audience, then I'm just gonna focus on just working and saving money and again laying that foundation, because the beauty about filmmaking is that it'll always be there. It'll always be there. I can film a commercial or two on the side. I can film music videos. I can do so many things. So I'll be okay. And that's the thing that I want to stress to filmmakers is that don't make film 100% your life. When you do that, you shut other people out and you just become this empty shell of a person that just can only be can only whose only contact is people who are thinking exactly like him, talking about getting projects made but never executing them, you know? And there are people that have gotten out of that phase and they're making their own shit and doing their grinding. And that's what I want to tell you. Live life. There's a life out there. There's a world out there. There's people to interact with. There's just air, you know? Don't shut people out. And oh, and now this is still part of that plan B. Now, going back to the original topic of how all this started, it had to do with my now ex. And we broke up recently, uh, earlier this week, a few days ago. And, oh, it was a different breakup for me because I reacted like I reacted when I got out of bad relationships, which was just like, fuck you, fuck off, get out of my life. And those reactions are appropriate when they need to be. Okay, you can react that way to a person if that person deserved it. Now, in this case, the woman who was breaking up with me brought me into her child's life. Sorry. Brought me into her child's life, reintroduced me to her family, invited me to the child's birthday. I think I already said that. I don't know. Sorry. It's hard to think in this hot room. But all those things on top of the history. Now, the history that I have with her is very simple. Um, Again, much like Plan B, she wanted to talk about something very serious that could possibly happen. Me being an immature fuck, I just didn't want to talk about it, and then we broke up. I regretted it for a week, and the irony with that is that I chose to cut her out of my life because I felt that exes couldn't be friends. But I found out later that if I had gone over to her house at the end of the week and apologized, she would have taken me back. Now I'm not saying that I wish I could go back in time and do that, because who knows where that would have been. You know, she might not even have the kid that she has now, which would fucking suck cuz her kid's awesome. I, am not going to give genders or anything like that, but they're awesome. Okay? They give me hugs over FaceTime. We have a conversation. He talks. And just just being able to make that kid laugh just brings joy, you know? He gives me hugs. It's amazing. It's just may it's just amazing. It's just an amazing feeling. And no, absolutely not. Does that when you're in that kind of relationship, cutting off that person out of your life is not a good no. I can't do that. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So, um, so yeah, what were we talking about? I kind of just went off on a tangent about the past. Oh yeah, the breakup. So, long story short, we end on we're friends, and that's that's it. You know. But here's the thing. It's just like the thing that pisses me off most about this whole thing is my lack of just being okay with an answer and realizing how big something that she said. um I didn't think about it at the time, but okay, this is what happened. What she said to me was, when we first started dating, or when we first started dating, she said, I pr- this is the last chance I'm going to give you. I promise I'm never going to give you another chance. She promised me that, and I said, okay. Then she said that I'm going to have to break a promise to you. I would I'll, I would give you another chance. Yeah. Now, that's an acceptable that's that's all I needed to hear. Why couldn't I just say, "Okay, yeah," and be on board? That's it. That is it, right? But nobody's satisfied with that answer. Nobody's ever satisfied with that answer. So, without going into any details, she explained to me why we're breaking up, and it's distance. I'm 6 hours away, and she has a lot of responsibilities on a daily basis. On top of being a single mom, she has a lot of responsibilities that need her attention. And the fact that she made a 6 hour long distance relationship work on top of all that for 9 months, that's love, man. Like, that person loves you, okay? So, fucking, she was like grinding to make it work. And what did I do? I wasn't listening. Wasn't communicating. And that's another sidebar for plan B that I want to talk about is if you do have a significant other, If that person is someone that you communicate with, that is with you and knows that your dream is either music, movies, music, whatever, you have a passion for something and you're throwing yourself into your dream, whatever that may be, you have to include them in this, okay? You have to include them, especially if it's a long distance relationship. And I'm not talking like just talk to them about it. I'm saying sit down, come up with a plan. Like if you're long distance, okay? Come up with a plan, draw up a calendar, write in the calendar, write in the squares, your handwriting. It's if your handwriting is anything like mine, nobody can read it other than you. So you take that calendar to her and be like, for example, be like, okay, I'm giving myself 2 months, maybe an extra 15 days. But in theory, if I were to practice my shots and get an idea on where I want to place a camera before I place a camera and film, I could essentially get done in 5 weeks. Now, I'm going to try. That's the level of motivation. I'm going to try to make it 5 weeks, okay? I'm giving myself 2 months, but I can do this in 5 weeks, right? And then just break down each day. Make her feel like she's a part of this, not like she's an outsider looking in, okay? Because maybe if I had done that, maybe we'd still be together. Who knows? I don't know. But the point is, a relationship is 50-50. And if somebody is going 150, like putting their all into this relationship, you have to do the same thing. You have to do the same thing. And that includes bringing them in and talking to them about it. Showing them the calendar. Don't tell them, show them. They have to see it. They have to see that you put work into this. This is your dream. This is your passion. You can't be flaky with it. You can't say 1 month, oh yeah, we're going to be done in 3 months, and then 3 months comes, oh yeah, we're going to be done in 6. It makes you look unstable. I know the film production is random. Nobody knows what is gonna what how long anything's gonna take. It's a complete guessing game. But if you have a schedule, if you put the effort and you sit down and manage your time, you can do it. And that's what I'm saying. If you love this person, if you care about this person, take the time out and do that. Okay? Just do it. Oh, well, that was a bit of the that was the end. And, and I put it in the spot of talking about the show. Now, the web series that I'm making is 5 episodes long, or 10 episodes long for one season. They're 20 minutes. I'm filming the first 5 right now, soon. And I'm going to go. I think, no, wait, I already told, I said this. This was my plan B. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna direct the 5 episodes. Now these episodes, man, I'm putting everything I have in them because this is it. You know, this is the thing that I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna put these out there, do everything I can to get it out there to people, and then I'm gonna go back to Plano, do what I gotta do, and see. That's what this is. So tomorrow is the first production podcast for going over this fucking insane camera movement that I don't know. I don't know. It's phenomenal. When I thought when I pictured it in my head, I'm like, okay, I know how this is gonna work. So I need to practice it as much as possible to where it's just second nature. Because I'm not going to be operating the camera. I'm acting in this particular scene. So tomorrow is just going to be walking through that shot and just doing it on repeat over and over and over and over again. And I'm going to practice all the shots and I'm going to number the shots and I'm going to talk about the shots. They're each going to have their own name, so to speak. Um, yeah, it's been a long ride for this this project. I originally came to San Antonio to make my first feature film because I had made a promise when I first started this journey of being a filmmaker. I made a promise that I'd have my first feature film done by the time I was 25. And now that I'm 25, it's like I got a lot of props for the film, and the reason I had decided not to go along with it was because I wasn't sure of my actor schedules. One of them was going to be going to Georgia for I don't know how long. I, I didn't get a specific time indefinitely. So then I had the idea of like, okay, those three leads need to be here. And, mm, okay, we need something else, something we can do on the fly. I want to make a show. And so, just sitting down, thinking, throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks, and then it hit me. It was so simple. It was so simple because you'll know when you see it and when I talk about it afterwards, but I can't go into why it was simple, but it's just, mm. And I wrote it. I wrote it for a year. Wrote the first 5 episodes. First, the original idea for this show was a lot different. The concept was a lot different. It wasn't until it wasn't until I guess the 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 third month after, or no. It was about a month after I decided to not uh, do the film. I was like, okay, I need to come up with ideas. I was thinking about like just those shows I can do, and then the concept came to me, and I wrote for 4 months, 5 months, and it was hard. It was really hard because so much about this show is relying on the way I'm presenting the story. And unlike a movie where you have a big like a first, second, and third act, with the show, it's the same way, but it's more of a if you're trying to make it a show that will if you're trying to make a show that you want staying power, like for this show, for me, the plan for this show, and it's gonna sound crazy. I plan to write and direct 50 episodes, 5 seasons, 10 episode seasons, and I want to end it on a 2 hour movie. It's nuts, right? I know that's the kind of story I've been working on, and I just want people to see it. That's first and foremost. I just want to get it out there. And tomorrow starts the first real uh, production day. I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be walking through the camera motions, uh, going over the script, making changes here or there, reading the script with my uncle who's acting in it, and making changes necessary need to be changed, and just him. He's going to be really looking at all the scripts for the first time and see where the story is going and how it's played out for the first time. So, yeah, tomorrow starts our first official day of pre-production, and yeah, I'm I mean, it's already in pre-production. I've been working on storyboards, so I mean, this is the first time I'm actually going to be working with actors and directing people, even if it's just for practice. It's something that I've been craving to do. So, well, how long have I been going? 40 minutes. Holy shit! It doesn't feel like it's been 40 minutes. I thought I was in the 30s or something like that. But um, yeah. So that as a kind of a last word, so to speak, um, and add a little tidbit before. Uh, I'm gonna add. I'm reading the Bible, and at the end, I'm gonna put something that you know, that I saw and was interested in, and I found interesting, or I took it away. I wanna open myself up to that, you know, because it's something that would help um, with the person who is now my ex. It would, I, I don't know. I promised her that I would do it. Okay, I promised her that I would do it, and she's still a friend, you know. So I'm not gonna break that promise, and I'm going to read it because it is important to her, you know, and I'm already like fascinated by it. So yeah, those will be. I'm gonna put one in tomorrow. Uh, so I can read a chunk maybe after my walk today, which I'm gonna be going on in about in about I'll go in about, I think, no, yeah, 30 minutes will be good. 30 minutes, in about 30 minutes. So um I know I'm gonna say a lot. I've said so many times. It's fucking ridiculous. So before I say it one more time, my final thoughts. Don't take life for granted. Okay? Don't do it. All right? Now, for me, I always want to end with good words for the people that are in my life that I care about. My grandma, my two grandmas, my grandpa, my aunt, uncle, cousins, other uncle, the girl that's out there, you know who you are. You know, life's unpredictable. You know, like I said, I go on walks. I could get shot, stabbed, run over, you know, and that's just walking. Could get in a car accident. I could get in a coma. I get, all these things could drastically change your life or end it. And you know, if they ever stumble upon these, I would want them to hear it and be like, and know that even if we had a fight the day that something happened to me, I want you to know that fuck the fight or the argument or whatever we have that is that you feel, you know, I love y'all, man, and y'all are my family. Y'all have made this life so awesome, has to help me follow my dreams, and there's nothing more I could have asked for. So I love y'all. I do. I love every single one of you. And to the girl that's out there, you look good in that dress. My funeral. But that's a little dark. That's a little dark. I don't want to get too dark, you know. I don't like getting. I mean, I do like getting a little bit. I do like having like a morbid sense of humor sometimes, but nah, I'm not gonna really. Oh, wow. Well, I just want. Oh, that's not. That wasn't it. I wasn't done. Listen, I love and care about you. You know that, and you'll continue to know that. Okay. And yeah, I just don't like holding in feelings. You know, because of that. You know, I could, like I said, I could die, and nobody would know how I felt about them, and I kind of want them to know. I kind of want to know. I want people to know how they make me feel and how happy they make me. So, the bar stools are going up. I'm pouring myself a glass of Space Side Scotch, single malt. Filmmakers, if you have a girlfriend, cook them lunch, cook them dinner, take them out, treat them. Never make them feel like they're competing with film, because films have credits, life doesn't. Don't take anything for granted. Film will always be there. There's going to be more projects after you're done with whatever you're working on. And if you don't make it, you could always teach. You could always film commercials. Save up, you know, for another project that you want to do. Film Filmmaking is always going to be there. But listen. Listen to her. Don't be so fucking just up your own ass about whatever it is you're working on. Don't fucking do that, because it's not worth it. It really isn't. Not if you have someone who is not just someone, but someone who brings with them their family, who are also awesome, and just their life merging with yours. Just appreciate them. Okay? Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, goodbye.